So if you clicked on this video, you might be considering moving out of your hometown, going to a new city, whatever. And basically, I'll tell you this. I think you should. I think everyone that wants to, really reinvent themselves, make more money, meet more people, whatever, live a better, fulfilling life, I think they should move away from their hometown. Now, just some background. I'm from Northern California. I'm from Palo Alto, which you guys probably have heard of now. That's one of like the richest tech areas in the world with like some of the smartest people, right? And even for me, I think moving away from Palo Alto made a huge difference in how my life turned out. So now compare that to someone that's living in a really small city with not that many opportunities, not that many like really successful people around. In that case, it's going to make even more sense to move out, right? So yeah, essentially I moved to Los Angeles for college. And after that, I stayed around in SoCal, moved to Orange County. And I cannot stress like just how important changing my environment from where I grew up, how that impacted me. And yeah, we'll talk about a bunch of reasons why I think you should move out of your hometown. If you want to stop watching this video, just know, yes, you should move out of your hometown. But let me give you guys some like concrete examples concrete examples of why you should actually do it, right? Hopefully that will influence what you do and maybe inspire you to move out faster. So the first is your environment, and I wrote a bunch of this stuff down, so I'm gonna look at the computer. Your environment really shapes like how far you can reach. It basically shapes your ceiling, right? So your environment dictates what type of people you're around. And if you're around a bunch of people and, the average person has a normal job or they work at like a bar or a restaurant or whatever, and let's say they make 40K, you're going to think, okay, 40K, that is a normal wage. And there's going to be this like invisible ceiling above that number. It's not an actual ceiling, of course, but it's gonna feel like it. It's gonna affect you. So if you want to make more money, you need to be around people that actually make more money, right? You need to get rid of that ceiling, and your environment plays a huge role in where that like ceiling seems to be. Okay, next is, yeah, if you're from a small town, right, then usually like people there have comfortable, quiet lives. But if you're watching this video, you probably don't want that. I mean, like if you want that, that's great. But you clicked on this video because you probably don't want that, right? Let's be real. And in a small town, right, basically comfort, fear of like failing, fear of getting out of your comfort zone, also like social pressure, it definitely helps. It keeps people average. And yeah, there are a lot of people with far greater capabilities than me that are stuck in small cities that don't reach their full potential. And, it's sad. It's just the way it is. And so, yeah, that's why you need to escape that small town, like hometown mentality. And if you want to reach your full potential, you're probably going to do it in a big city. Let's just be real. You don't need to stay in that big city for forever. After you move there and get successful, right? Then you can move somewhere else. You have all your stuff in place, systems, businesses, whatever, investments. But you certainly need to move out to get there, and then you can move back. Then you have the freedom to basically move wherever you want, right? You can move to a different country, move back to your hometown, different city, whatever it is. Next thing is, in your hometown, everyone knows you for like you from the ages of, let's say, 0 to, I don't know, 18, 20, 25, whatever, right? However long you've been in your hometown, right? that's the old you. And people change. You're going to change. You're going to progress. You're going to learn new things. You're going to adopt new mindsets. But people are still going to see the old you. It's definitely harder to reinvent yourself when everyone knows what you were like at 15 and views you in that light. So yeah, if you're trying to reinvent yourself, which I think many of you guys are, you need to leave because you need to get around people that didn't know the old you. Yeah. Next is, okay, in small cities, which I'm going to assume a lot of you guys are from, even if you're from a big city, right? You're just going to be comfortable in your hometown. So this still kind of applies to you. If you're in a small city, the fact is like there are fewer opportunities. There are fewer opportunities that exist. And that, of course, makes finding those opportunities a lot harder. So this could be like new deals, new business partners, capital, ideas, people, partnerships, whatever it is. All that stuff is clustered in like these bigger cities. I know I always sort of like say, damn it, I'm living in California, in SoCal, my taxes are this high, but being here definitely helps me make more money because the people I meet, just like the energy around here, the connections, all the resources, it's better here than in almost all cities, right? So I 1000% make more money because I live here. So that's sort of how I justify like paying higher state income tax. It's because being here does help me make more money. And like I said, there's more opportunities here as well. There's more events happening. There's more opportunities to meet new people, to network. There's a lot of really successful people that you can meet here, right? The concentration of successful, like impactful people, it's much higher here than in a small city in the middle of nowhere. So that's definitely something to consider. Okay, so next is, we sort of mentioned this, but when you're around other people that are currently building their business, they're scaling, they're growing, they're learning, you can learn from all these people, right? So a huge thing that happened to me was after I graduated from college, I stayed there, right? Even staying where I graduated from college, which wasn't my hometown, it did put a damper on how fast I was able to see some success. And that's because the people around me were people I knew from college. They weren't really building their business, and I couldn't really learn from them, right? After moving to Orange County, that's when I started to actually like meet a lot more entrepreneurs, and we grew our businesses together. Like the people I met in 2019, 2020, 2021, we've all grown significantly since then. And one of those reasons is because we are able to talk to each other. We're able to bounce ideas off of each other. You have a greater net, right? Both like social net because they know other cool people that they can introduce you to. And then they're also learning in their businesses. They're failing at things and they're sharing that with me. I'm sharing my fails, things that are working with them. And so we're all able to basically win together. That is super, super important. Sure, you might be able to find people like that in your hometown or wherever you currently are, but it's definitely going to be easier in a bigger city. I'm in Orange County, so I'm in like Costa Mesa area, Newport Beach, right? Like these cities here, there's a lot of big entrepreneurs. There's a lot of entrepreneurs in LA too. You just need to be in the right areas. So yeah, you need to be around other people that are currently growing or doing something that you can learn from. Okay, next thing is you need to break the cycle, right? So when you're basically home, you're more likely to just repeat the same patterns, same daily habits. You might do the same daily routine of going to this gym, going to this restaurant, I don't know, whatever. And to reinvent yourself, right, you obviously know that you need to break that cycle. You need to do things a lot differently. And that's why when you move, right, that breaks that cycle. you instantly are surrounded by a bunch of different restaurants, surrounded by different gyms, by different people, by different events, all that stuff, different visual stimuli, whatever. And that's why, like, it's so important for you to get out of your house, get out of your hometown. You need to break that cycle. Next is, okay, when you move to a new place, you're on your own, and maybe you haven't done that before. But I felt this exact same thing when I moved from NorCal, Northern California, to LA for college. Now, I was debating between going to UC Berkeley and UCLA, and UC Berkeley, it still felt like Northern California. I was really close to home still, and I felt like the energy in LA was just different, right? Moving to LA forced me to be around a completely different set of people away from home. Most of my college or most of my high school friends did not go to UCLA, but most of them actually went to UC Berkeley. So I had to find new friends. This change forced me to like grow a lot. Forced me to adapt to this new environment. It forced me to hustle a bit more, right? And I think, yeah, that type of big move is something that a lot of us need in our lives. Most people just grow too accustomed to their current surroundings. They get a little bit, I forget the word, but they just sort of get lazy, right? Because they're in a very comfortable environment. And why would you want to change if everything seems to be solid? Yeah, so a big move like that, it forces that uncomfortable growth that you need. Okay, next thing is you don't need, okay, so if you're in the US, you don't necessarily need to move to like New York City or LA or one of these big cities, right? Yes, that's gonna be great. But there are other places in the world with a high concentration of business owners, entrepreneurs, whatever. You can move to Bali, right? There's a bunch of like digital nomad hubs around the world. And while I think this is great, it's personally, I would try to move and have a home base in your current country, so let's say the US, in a big city, and then like spend more time at a digital nomad hub. I think that's the best way to do it. But you can still just move directly to let's use Bali as an example. I recently went to Bali. There are so many entrepreneurs there. Um, so if you want a change of scenery, but you don't have the funds immediately to make a big move to a big city, it's very expensive to, let's say, live in LA or New York. But you can live on $1,000 to $2,000 per month in a place like Bali and live a great life. That is like a sort of like a cheat code way to move out of your hometown, because you're still surrounded by people that are scaling and growing. You can still learn a lot from these like new surroundings, but it's in a much cheaper area, right? So if that applies to you, just know that you can definitely do that. Just pick a place with a higher concentration of digital nomads. Personally, I would tend to avoid Europe because the pace of life there is a bit slower. So you're probably not going to be as motivated to work. A lot of these like Asian countries with tons of digital nomads, I think those are the places to go because it's still very bustling, still a lot of like young energy, and that's basically what you need at the start. Also, if you look at most successful people, they don't live in their old hometown, right? Most of them left. So it's just an example of like, hey, look to see what a bunch of the people you admire, what they actually did. And chances are they probably left their hometown at some point. They probably got out of their comfort zone. And that move likely had a big impact on their current success. So it's not just like the physical act of leaving that is so important. It's like about all the different things that come with that are forced from that physical relocation. You could just move to a new expensive city and just stay at home all day, and it would have zero impact on your success, right? You might as well just stay at home. But if you're the type of person where forcing yourself into this new environment, this new situation, allows you to actually take on new habits, it fires you up, you're able to go out there and meet people, actually like take advantage of that new city, then you need to move to a new city. That's just how it is. And to do that, you need to choose. You need to choose that uncomfortable growth over the comfort. That's something that you need to like get in your head, because it's going to be uncomfortable. You might need to pay more in rent. It is a risk, right? Every good thing is on the other side of risk. Every good thing that's happened in my life is on the other side of risk. I had to take some type of risk to get that good thing. So hopefully, this video inspired you to think a little bit more like logically about why you should actually move out of your hometown, or at least the current city you're in. If you need to reinvent yourself, if you want a change of scenery, and you're able to actually take action once you move on all these things I talked about, then yeah, I think you should move. And yeah, maybe thank me in 5 years when you're like, wow, moving to the city actually completely changed my life. So that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.